property is a fairy tale, a sugar-coated lie. We feed it to the laboring class to keep them quiet while we extract their vitals. You look at that white picket fence and you see a boundary. I look at it and I see a row of teeth. You don't own the land. The land owns your time. Every morning you wake up to labor. You aren't building an inheritance. You are fueling a centrifuge that feeds a predator you will never see.
This is the largest wealth transfer in human history. It began in the ashes of 2008. While the middle class was losing their homes, Wall Street was refining a new asset class, the single-family rental, or SFR. In the last 36 months, firms like Blackstone, Invitation Homes, and American Homes for Rent have systematically cornered the market. They aren't just buying houses, they are buying zip codes. Look at the data. In cities like Atlanta, Phoenix, and Charlotte, institutional investors are snapping up 40% of all available inventory. They use an unfair advantage called the Cantillon effect. They sit at the mouth of the Federal Reserve's money fountain. They receive fresh capital before it is devalued by inflation. By the time that money reaches your paycheck, it's worth 10% less. But for them, it's a weapon of mass acquisition.
Why do you think the banks invented the 30-year mortgage? It's not a service. It's a leash. It's long enough to let you roam, but short enough to keep you coming back to the kennel every single month. You think the word mortgage is a financial term. Look at the etymology. Old French, mort and gage, a death pledge. In the feudal era, the serf knew his place. He tilled the lord's land and gave half his crop for the privilege of staying alive. The only difference now is the branding. We replace the iron chains with credit scores. We replace the whip with the threat of an eviction notice. A man with a home is a man with a fortress. He is hard to govern. He has a place to stand, a place to fight.
This is the financialization of shelter. A house is no longer a home. It is a yield asset, a line on a spreadsheet for a pension fund in Tokyo or a sovereign wealth fund in Dubai. You are literally paying your conqueror for the privilege of occupying their territory. Let's look at the institutional logic. Blackstone's B-Right fund alone controls billions in residential real estate. They aren't looking for a place to live. They are looking for rent growth, which is a polite way of saying your rising cost of existence. The rental market is being algorithmic ally optimized. Rent prices are no longer set by local supply and demand. They are set by software, like RealPage, which allows landlords to coordinate prices without ever meeting in a room. It is a digital cartel.
So, we decided to take the ground from under you. We turned the American dream into a rental agreement. Ownership used to be the bedrock of the citizen. It gave you leverage. It gave you a stake. But a man with a stake, it's dangerous. He can say no. So, we are shifting you to a subscription model of existence. We are dismantling the physical base of your freedom, one lease agreement at a time. You think you are mobile, you think you are free, but a nomad with no land is just a refugee in a suit. We want you light. We want you thin. We want you dependent on the cloud for your data and the landlord for your shelter. Because when you own nothing, you have nothing to defend.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is the World Economic Forum's official 2030 roadmap. We are moving toward the everything-as-a-service economy. Your software is a subscription. Your car's features are a subscription. Your furniture is a subscription. And now, the very dirt beneath your feet is being converted into a monthly recurring revenue stream for institutional funds. They call it flexibility. They have convinced a generation that owning things is clutter. that equity is a burden. But while they sell you freedom from things, they are hoarding the physical assets themselves, because they know that in a world of infinite digital printing, tangible land is the only thing with real value. If you control the supply of a necessity, you control the price of survival. This is the new feudalism. We are seeing the death of the middle class as a political force, because a middle class without assets is just a working class with better branding. When you don't own, you don't care. When you don't care, you don't vote for the long term. You vote for the next 30 days of survival. In the New World Order, if you don't own the roof over your head, you are nothing but an active user in a managed ecosystem. And the terms of service can be changed at any time, without your consent, without your vote, and users can be deleted.
The skyscrapers do not move. The marble is not for rent. That is where the real power lives. The world is being partitioned into those who own and those who access, and we are closing the gates. You are not a citizen. You are a recurring revenue stream. We don't need you to be successful. We just need you to be functional enough to click the pay button every 30 days. We own the air you breathe. We own the ground you walk on. There is no escape. Only the next payment. Good night, tenant. May your dreams be free of rent increase notices.